Evening, everyone. Welcome to the October 18th, 2016 Planning Board meeting. I have to announce that we are recording this for the purpose of minutes. LCAT is also recording this, and I have to ask if anyone in the audience is recording. Seeing none, we're going to jump right in. We have a 6 p.m. Appointment with Attorney Jim Shields, request for waiver of site plan to revise the site plan for L.A. Belcher project.
Letter dated October 17, 2016 to the Planning Board regarding 227 Shaker Road, corner of Shaker and Chestnut, East Long Meadow. Dear members of the Planning Board, on behalf of Leonard E. Belcher Incorporated, Belcher, I'm attaching a request for waiver of site plan review application. The request is submitted in connection with the revised site plan decision issued to Belcher May 31st, 2016. Belcher's contractor has recommended an extension of the retaining wall in the rear of the building as depicted on the plan included with this request. The extension will enable Belcher to move safely and efficiently maintain the building and surrounding property. I'll be happy to discuss this with you or answer any questions you may have at the meeting on October 18th. Very truly yours, James B. Shields.
Would you like to see
There's
the
a
plan?
waiver.
Request for waiver of site plan. Property owner is Leonard E. Belcher Incorporated. Owner's address is 615 St. James Avenue, Springfield, Mass. Phone numbers are listed here. Owner of business is Leonard E. Belcher Incorporated. Business owner's address is 615 St. James Ave, Springfield. Property address is 227 Shaker Road, East Long Meadow. The property district is an industrial. It's allowed use. Proposed hours of operation. All information is unchanged from the approved revised site plan. Application dated May 31st, 2016. The copy is attached. Number of employees, including owner. All information is unchanged from the approved revised site plan. Application dated May 31st, 2016. Copy is attached. Date of last parking plan with a copy of the same. Certified update plan required if older than 10 years. Once again, all information has been included from the May 31st meeting. The application has been signed and dated October 17, 2016, and I'm very glad this is typed. I can actually read it. Thank you.
Robin, was there any additional information?
No, that's it, other than the plan.
Police, fire, maybe
No.
there's nothing. That's Jim, just a quick review. It looks like what you're looking to do is extend the retaining wall and the fence.
That's all we're looking to do. The construction has begun, as you are probably aware. And our contractor, as he got underway, recommended to us that the retaining wall be extended. He says it'll make maintenance of the building easier. It'll also make property maintenance easier, control weeds and so forth. So they're talking about just taking the retaining wall that was on the original plans and extending it an additional 80 feet. And that's all we're asking for.
Okay.
At this time.
Any comments from the board?
I had a chance to go out there only to inspect the hay bales and silt fence, and there is, obviously the issue, and it makes perfect sense.
Yep.
So.
I would agree. I actually saw it ahead of time. I went to see Robin to see if they would extend it, and they had already put in the application to do it. So definitely way ahead of me.
So we're approving their change order.
I would entertain a motion for that.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Jim, thank you.
Robert, do you need, I have extras of the full-size plan. Do you need any?
No, that's good. I'll distribute these to DPW. Okay?
Or I have more. Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jim.
And Robin, one of these will be included with our existing.
Yes, I'm
site
gonna
plan?
substitute the whatever plan number that is.
Okay, and do you need us to sign it or initial it
Yeah,
to say?
yeah, that looks almost like a Mylar, so there's a Sharpie there.
Okay, we'll do it right at the end of the meeting then.
Don't forget. All right.
I'll remember.
Thank you. Like 4 more.
Okay, well, we've got some time before our next appointment.
They're here, though.
They're here, and it's only a waiver of site plan
Yeah, they're fine.
request.
And they're out of town.
Good evening.
How are you?
Good. So we have Michael Brennan, a request for a waiver of site plan for Lennox solar panels on roof. Ty?
Request for waiver of site plan review. Property owner is Lennox Irwin Industrial Tools, 301 Chestnut Street, East Long Meadow, Mass. Phone numbers are listed here. Name of proposed business is Lennox Irwin Industrial Tools. Owner of business is Newell Brands. Business owner's address is 6655 Peachtree, Dunwood Road, Atlanta, Georgia. Property address is 301 Chestnut Street. Property district is industrial. It's an allowed use. Proposed hours of operation are 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Number of employees are 630. Date of last parking plan is August 2015. Summary of business operation, industrial tool manufacturing. Project is solar panels on the entire roof. Number of commercial vehicles is 5. The application has been signed and dated October 13, 2016.
Would someone like to explain, are we doing solar on the entire roof? How high are the panels? Give us a brief overview.
Sure, it'll be my pleasure. My name is Michael Brennan. I'm from M&W Group. We are the EPC for the project. The project, actually, the fact that it says the entire roof is actually not true. It's about 3/4 of the entire roof is where the solar is going. There is the Lennox Tool building has the receiving structure is not, that's the taller structure on the sort of east side of the building. That is not taking any solar panels. We are going to be on the main building from north to south, or south to north, however you look at it. As the information that I provided you today with the panel called racking, this is a system that is being ballasted to the rooftop. It's not being mechanically attached. We're adding a solar system to Lennox Tools to feed National Grid through to the utility. So we're not ever entering the building at any point with the solar, with the power. The system, you will not be able to see it from the road. I know that was a concern. That was something you had asked me, Rob, originally. These modules, the picture that's in front of you there, just depicts the system laying flat to the roof, and it stands at its highest point is about 12 inches above the ground, about 12 inches above the deck. It will encompass the entire roof, minus the section I was talking about before with the receiving building. There isn't much else to it. Like I said,
So, just out of curiosity, I'm just going to go back to your first comment. These panels are not providing electricity to Lennox,
that's correct.
so Lennox is receiving credits and something on that idea, or?
It's, I guess maybe the best way to explain is that the roof is being leased to produce solar, and the power is going back to the National Grid, and it's running through a net metering system where the owner of the system will gain credit for the production, the solar production.
Okay. I'm going to bring it to the board. Comments, questions?
Not for me.
Yeah, it looks
Pretty contract.
pretty straightforward. You are adding a transformer inverter on the ground?
That's correct.
That's the only addition to the footprint, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a 24 square feet,
Yes, it's
squares
a little bit,
is the
yeah.
footprint of the ground. And that is just south of or just north of the existing number
Right,
5
it's
distribution
shown on
transformer.
here, yeah. Okay,
So 5 by 5.
yeah.
It's 5 by 5.
I do my
No,
math. Square root.
25 by 25.
25 by
25
25.
by-
Oh, I thought you said 24 square feet.
I did say that. You're right.
Yeah,
But it's
so
20. It's
it's like
24 by
24 by
24.
24.
That's-
Oh, okay.
So it's
That's
quite a
what
bit
it is. I
bigger.
apologize.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's well within the 2,000
Yeah.
Right,
square
yeah,
feet
2,500
addition
feet.
to
That's
the
correct.
Yeah.
footprint.
Right.
Tide, any other questions?
Yeah, I'm
No,
looking
I-
at it right here. It's 22 inches by 21. It's not
22
even,
feet?
yeah.
Yeah.
Feet, excuse me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you read plans all day long.
I know. Well, I always miss those inch and feet, you know?
Only kidding.
They confuse me.
No, it sounds good.
My only thought, like I said, and it's just off the top of my head, is typically when a solar system is put on, it's for the use in the building. This almost seems like it's a separate business that's being run on the roof as compared to the existing.
It's a leasing application.
It's a leasing
Yeah.
application.
But I don't see how that really affects anything. It's on the roof, which is allowed use. It's in the industrial park. So power generation in the industrial park is certainly an allowed use. So I don't see any issues with it.
And I guess my concern came in is if the roof's being leased, is this still falls under the ownership of Lennox, or is it two separate, so that if something happens up there, someone else has to be contacted?
I think with regard to the
Lennox.
town, I think the
Mhm.
Lennox is the responsible
Yeah.
party.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're the ones that are
I just-
doing the application.
Want to make sure that,
Yeah.
you know, all our i's are dotted, t's are crossed, that if for some reason something happens and we have to get in touch with someone,
I
that
think
we
it
have
would go
all the
through
correct
Lennox.
contacts.
Mhm.
Oh, I have everybody's name, believe me.
Taking names, huh?
I
She
do.
has been.
Yeah.
Any further discussion from the board? With that, then, I would entertain a motion for the waiver of site plan.
So moved?
Second.
Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Thank you
You're
very
all set.
much.
The
Thank you.
decision will be
Breathe.
mailed out.
I can breathe now, I feel much better. Thank you very much.
Don't forget to make the phone call.
I can't make it fast.
So that he
We'll
can
start dialing
sleep
it.
tonight, yeah.
You were having difficulty breathing earlier tonight?
No, I was actually confident. I mean, I'm just happy that we're moving forward. That's.
It was just it was a glitch they weren't aware of before. They had
Yeah.
applied for everything in the building department, and they weren't advised that they needed to come before the planning board until it came through where I saw it.
Mhm.
This is
And
probably
so
the easiest
they-
part for you.
They really had a heart attack.
It really, yeah, in retrospect, it is, yeah.
It was like when I made the call, it was like,
That's when they stop breathing?
That's when I stopped breathing,
Yes.
that phone call, yes,
Absolutely.
Wednesday of last week. That's right.
Great.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You too, have a safe trip home.
Thank you, Robert.
Okay, under new business, we
Yes.
have Catherine Russo, a request for waiver for a bakery and a dessert bar at 173 Shaker Road.
Property owner is Ken Martin and Wendy Martin. Owner's address is 38 Mill Road, East Long Meadow, Mass. Phone numbers are listed here. Name of proposed business is the Dessert Bar and Bakery by Cupcake Cafe. Owner of business is Catherine Russo. Address is listed here. Business owner's address is P.O. Box 602, East Long Meadow. Property address is 173B Shaker Road, East Long Meadow. It's an allowed use. The business district has been left blank. Proposed hours of operation are Monday through Sunday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Sunday, so that's 7 days a week. Number of employees, including owner, is 1. Summary of business operation is retail only, sale of prepackaged baked goods, desserts, and gifts, birthday, social parties, and small groups. The application's been signed and dated October 13th and October 11th.
Okay. 173 Shaker Road is the old building where Dick's Convenience was. I believe we have a vape shop next door right
Mhm.
now.
Vape shop is in it, isn't it?
It's in.
But it's one half of the building.
They divided the
They
building.
divided the building. So, after discussion with our Board of Health, Amy, and with Robin, this is, even though it's called a bakery, this is strictly retail sales of baked goods. They're gonna be made off-site, they're gonna be packaged, and they're gonna be sold there. So this wouldn't fall under a special permit for any type of restaurant, making the food, serving it on-site or anything.
So just walk in, grab, carry out.
Exactly.
They don't
Mhm.
have any tables? No.
Did they say they're gonna do functions?
Well, she's thinking.
Or was that a
about
catering off
said,
premises?
Birthday social parties of small groups. She wants to have a sofa or something.
So it looks like there will be some kind of a function.
She will actually be serving food to be eaten on the premises.
No. Mm-mm. Only prepackaged.
Right, but it's being sold to be eaten on the premises.
At the social, they're just
No,
gonna
Amy
stare at the
won't let it.
cupcakes.
Amy will not.
She has a birthday
Well,
party.
Amy will
I
not
think-
allow it.
I think our bylaw states
Okay.
that it's made and consumed,
It does.
and not just sold and eaten.
Okay.
And like I said, I've talked in depth with Amy.
Yeah.
And we wanted to make sure that even though we do an approval, that the approval states in it that this is not to be used
Okay.
as a bakery. There's no ovens or anything like that that's approved. We are not approving
Full kitchens.
any type of
Right, not-
Seating.
Not even a
Right.
hot plate,
Right.
Okay.
Amy said
Mhm.
today.
And do we have sufficient parking there for both businesses?
It's square footage.
So we do.
Mhm.
Okay, that's just
Yeah.
making clear that we have parking there.
Yeah, and they have
Yes.
parking in the back at
Okay.
that location.
Yeah, yes, they do. So with that, I would entertain a motion to approve based on our conversation.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, let's jump to a request for waiver of site plan review, Mediterranean Salads and Sweets, 20 Holy Cross Circle.
Oh, boy. Okay, request for waiver of site plan review. Property owner is R. Hula Mercenaglu.
Yep, sounds
Bless
good
you.
to me. Yeah, bless you.
Thank you very much, appreciate that. Owner's address is 20 Holy Cross Circle, East Long Meadow. Phone numbers are listed here. The name of proposed business is Hula's Sweets. Business owner's address is the same. Property address is 20 Holy Cross Circle. Property district is blank. Allowed use is also blank. Proposed hours of operation are farmers market. Number of employees including owner is one husband and wife. Summary of business operation is Mediterranean sweets to be delivered to farmers markets. The application's been signed and dated October 12th, 2016.
Okay, this is the same application that came in front of us 2 weeks ago. I have grave concerns. We have a bylaw that states a home office is allowed. We've turned other people down for cooking in the house. We don't allow it in our bylaw. I think it's something maybe in the future we should look at, but as of right now,
As
we
of right
allow
now,
an
it's not
office,
allowed.
but not baking.
Agree.
I agree as well.
I mean, she definitely has the right to bring it back, but I just can't, I personally can't approve it, so.
And she's taken salads off of the application, but not off of the name.
I think it more comes down to the making of the food in the
Yeah,
house.
no, I agree. I just wanted to clarify, because we had
Yes.
the health agent's comments last
Right.
time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, like I said, it's something that the board may choose to look at in the future. I know there's a couple other towns around us that would allow it, but our
It's
bylaws.
a catering license, though, that you need in order to do that, too.
More than likely. I mean, like I said, it's just one of these at the moment.
At the moment, it's not an allowed use.
Yeah, not allowed use.
So
Simple.
I would entertain a motion to approve the waiver of site plan as submitted.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Is there any further discussion on the approval of it? All those in favor, say aye. Opposed?
Nay.
Nay.
Thank you. Okay, we have a signage request for 168 Denslow Road, ATI Physical Therapy.
This is gonna be fun. These are replacement signs. And these are the signs ATI bought out,
The one down the end.
yeah.
Okay.
On Denslow, they bought everybody out. And it's replacing all of the
Office
signs.
condo?
No, across from that.
No, it's where
Yep.
Graziano's
Physical
used to be on the
therapy place.
corner of Denslow and
Oh.
Benton.
Oh.
So-
Where that, yeah.
Yeah, it used to be, what was the name?
They used to have the sound, the audio place,
Yes.
the high-end
Yeah.
television place
Yeah.
there.
But
Yeah.
what was the name before this?
Long time ago.
I should remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
Well,
neighbor
it was,
worked
it
there
was
too.
Meadows, and it was the Meadows Media, and
Attain?
it's been 3 or 4, and then
Attain,
it was
yes,
Attain.
yes, that's
Yeah.
correct.
And they
yeah.
purchased Attain. So this is the replacement of all of the signs. However, one thing I need to bring to your attention is the, may I?
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
I wrote it on here. The directory signs, there's 2 new directory signs, Ralph, you should see there, but those also have the names on them. And with regard to directory signs, the name is not allowed. It's only enter and exit.
Are these signs already existing?
No, not the directory signs. Those are two new ones. But if you remember, Berkshire Bank had internet.
These are the
yes.
existing,
Uh-huh.
and these are the new.
And they cannot have a name logo on those.
Can they have a location? Like
They can
before,
have
it
enter and
said
exit.
therapy and fitness, enter here.
Yeah, let me read this
No.
and then we'll,
Okay.
we can debate it. Sign permit application dated October 13, 2016. Business name and address is ATI Physical Therapy, 168 Denslow Road. Property owner's name and address is MTJ Realty. Phone number is listed here. Square footage of proposed signs is 157 square feet. Okay, now what we have for a breakdown of that is we have a double-faced pylon, which is 30 square feet. We have a single-face pylon, I'm sorry, excuse me, we have a single-face wall sign, which is 34 square feet. We have a single-face wall sign, 27 square feet. We have a single-face wall sign, 30 square feet. We have a double-face wall sign, which is 6 square feet. We have a single-face wall sign, which is 30 square feet. We have 2 directional signs. Oh, that's the directional signs are the 6 square foot signs. Okay. Does sign project over pedestrian way? No. Sign is permanent. Total number of the existing signs is 7. Total square foot of existing signs is 138 square feet. Total number proposed and existing signs is 7. Total square footage of proposed and existing signs is 157 square feet. The application's been signed. The estimated cost is $15,000. A signed affidavit is attached. So this is going up by 38, 48, 19 square feet. Okay.
And the directional signs with their names on them reflect the difference.
Yeah, Pierce signed 1, 2, 3, 4, just replacements.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, actually.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay,
Yeah.
so we have this.
Some of them are larger, some of them
Yep.
are small.
In Industrial Garden Park, is there a limit to the
No
size
less
of?
than 100 square feet.
Still maintains.
You can't require anything less than.
I thought that was industrial.
It's industrial garden also. These are all approved signs from this board a little while ago. Except for the 2 ground signs with the names on them. That's the difference.
I think the big thing
Which
here
would be
is
these?
these are all previously approved signs.
Yep.
With the exception of the directional signs.
Correct.
I would,
There's also a waiver.
They're replacements.
Done, didn't after the signs.
I mean, my suggestion would be that we approve these with the condition that the directional signs only state entrance or exit, and that they can't have the name on it.
That makes sense.
Mhm.
I'll move that.
Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm sorry, who did the motion? I missed it. I was
I
reading.
George
did.
did the motion, Michael seconded it.
They both did an excellent job.
These can be handed down.
And there was a waiver stuck in there too, so.
Request for waiver of site plan review. Property owner is MTJ Realty, 168 Denslow Road, East Long Meadow, Mass. Name of proposed business is ATI Physical Therapy. Owner of business is ATI. Business owner's address is 168 Denslow Road, East Long Meadow. Property address is the same. Proposed hours of operation are 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Summary of business operation is signs only. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
It seems incomplete.
Should say name only, but
It should be name only. Signature, the application's been signed and dated October 13th, 2016.
So basically, they're looking for a waiver to change
Change
the
name.
name.
Make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
thank you.
Okay, we have a A&R for 73 Gerard Ave.
It's right there.
Thank you.
This is a property where on Gerard Avenue, they own one property, and on, what's the other one? Morningside, which is back to back, they own the other one. And so what they're doing is they're taking two lots and combining them.
Am I supposed to read this?
You don't have to, it's
Okay, yeah.
basically says what I just said.
Good
I
call,
think if
Robin.
we take a look at the plan real quick, it's very difficult to see what they're trying to do.
Yeah, I think they're just taking away the line in the back, or
Yeah.
in between.
They're
This line.
taking this line right here
Right.
out.
Just this
Right.
line.
So I'm taking two
Yeah.
pre-existing non-conforming lots and making one conforming lot.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I have no concerns whatsoever. Under an A&R that we can endorse that. I'd just like to have us direct Robin to mention to the applicant or to the surveyor that we do need a completed checklist enclosed with the plan, with a narrative describing exactly what they're looking to do, so that Robin doesn't have to explain. That is part of our checklist that is supposed to be included with this. I didn't think this was big enough
Gotcha.
to do
Yeah.
to stop it from going forwards, but I just think a letter going to them, just reminding them that these are our criteria.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I would entertain a motion to endorse the A&R as submitted.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion?
Which is fine.
Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
We'll sign those at the end.
That it?
How's that it?
Like that?
It's never it. Administrative issues. Robin, do we have a follow-up on tree 413?
I have not heard anything, I have not received an application for a waiver, and I need direction from the board whether or not to report them to the building inspector for enforcement.
I have a question. Since everything dealing with this particular property, I have had to recuse myself. Do I need to I probably need to recuse myself from this discussion as well? I would imagine.
It's up to you.
Yes,
That would
you
be
recused
your
yourself
choice.
from the
Yeah.
original.
I believe so.
All right, so I have stuff.
You don't have to move.
Okay, good.
Because we're not doing anything.
I will be silent.
Do we have a building inspector yet?
Not a full-time,
Okay.
we have an interim.
Okay.
But I would say with other things happening, rumors going on with the property and everything, that it would be appropriate to ask our acting building or zoning enforcement officer to send the letter which we had talked about a few weeks ago.
I agree with that,
Okay.
100%.
And Mark has been involved in this property anyway,
Good.
so, all
So
right.
with that, would I ask for the board's permission for me to sign the letter and send it, or?
Mhm.
Yeah, go right ahead.
I think a consensus is
Mhm.
definitely that we go ahead with it.
Okay.
Just curious on the address, it is 64 Maple Street, correct?
That's what our records are.
Okay, because I have seen it noted
Yeah,
as
that was
different
10 years
addresses.
ago, and the properties were combined, they were
Okay.
bogus, really, addresses, because there was never
Mhm.
really anything, because half of them are in the back, and they say they have a Maple Court address, and there's no Maple Court address, so I double checked.
And that's what I
with the-
wanted to make sure,
I
is that we
double-checked with the
double check
assessors.
so that
Mhm.
it's accurate when it goes out, so that
64.
there's no chance of
Right.
them saying, well, that's not us.
And they're only on one parcel?
No, they're on more than one,
They're on two.
At least two.
Yeah,
at least two,
Yeah, I don't know how many
Yeah.
there are.
yeah.
I'd have to look it up.
And they've
think it would-
increased.
I think it would be good to actually list the parcel ID numbers.
It's one parcel ID number.
Perfect. Okay.
The other is the recent changes to the zoning act and to the
Welcome back, Tide.
Thank you.
smart
Thank
growth,
you, guys.
smart
Thanks for
growth
back.
in chapter 40R, smart growth home initiative, lengthen building and special permit. The funny thing is the change took effect in August of 2016, and it allowed the building permits to go from 6 to 12 months.
before construction
Right.
Starts.
Mhm.
starts.
So that way they don't have to worry about, without a fear of zoning changes
Right.
that might otherwise nullify anything that they're trying to do within that 6 month. Now, it also says a longer special permit term from 2 to 3 years. Our zoning bylaws limit the special permit to 6 months before construction. So we never did, we being East Long Meadow, never did allow 2 years. So personally, I do not believe that this is going to have any effect, since the zoning enforcement, the zoning bylaws already say 6 months, which doesn't even say the 2 years, so,
Yeah, but the state says 2 years and our bylaw says 6 months.
yep.
Correct me if I'm wrong, we cannot be more stringent or stricter than the state's bylaws.
No more stringent, but we can be less, just like our,
All right, well,
That would be a lot more stringent.
That would be a lot more.
we're
More.
less, we're less. 6
No,
months?
we're
more.
We're a lot more.
The other way around.
it's the other way
Oh,
around.
No, well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to adopt the state's
Because-
bylaws.
we've never had the 2 year. We've always had
I
the
realize that, but if
Right.
the state's saying that we can go 2 years and we're only offering 6 months, we have to change our bylaws.
I don't know, the Attorney General approved them
That's what I'm getting at.
years ago, so I'll have to check that, but we've had 6 months forever.
Yeah, we need to read that section and see what it says, whether it says that it's allowed or whether it says we're allowed to do it for that long. In other words, whether we're required to or whether it's optional. Okay? I would have to read that section and see what it said.
They're extending it from 2 years
Yeah,
to
we've
3 years.
Yeah, and we've
Right.
always had 6 months.
Which means that we're much more stringent than the
In our-
state.
Right.
Yeah,
We're-
quite a bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which we cannot be.
yeah.
No.
They approved it years ago.
Well, that might have
The
been
AG's
before the.
office.
But I think it's
No, it was
changed
always
since
2
then.
years. That's what I'm saying. But I will check into it, but
Yeah.
I also noticed, with regards to pre-existing non-conforming, there was
That one I like. That's gonna make life a lot easier.
a 10-year requirement. So if you put an addition on your house, and it sounds like if you
yeah, you have
weren't
to be
caught
careful about that. There's a
within 10
lot.
years, then all of a sudden it becomes automatically grandfathered,
I've got
which.
different case law on that, and I've got a stack of things on my desk that I've been trying to weed through on that new ruling it's down from the beach area.
Because, I'm actually concerned with that, because if someone puts an addition on and they just keep it basically hidden so no one sees it within 10 years, all of a sudden, now they have a
It's-
pre-existing non-conforming
It's legal.
house, let's say, and all.
One of the cases says that it'll be legally non-conforming and not require a variance, but require a special permit.
So the building inspector has 10 years to check everyone's property to make sure everything's in compliance.
This is without a building permit.
Yeah.
But I
like said,
didn't give you
ahead of
that
ourselves.
because
Right,
there's.
yeah, I mean, we're
We're getting
making
ahead of
laws to,
ourselves.
now we're,
Yeah,
yeah,
no, I'm
making.
just saying,
Yeah.
I think it's.
And I didn't give you that portion because I've got different case law
Right.
that goes
This-
along
I
with
mean,
that
this
decision.
makes it easier rather than because we only asked ourselves, is it variance, is it
Yeah.
section 6, now it becomes straight section 6.
Section
Exactly.
6.
Regardless.
Exactly.
Basically
And
hold
it's
the special
easier.
permit, get the neighbor's input, see if it's a safety, I think it simplifies everything.
And it's
so much
easier
more.
than a variance.
I-
It's
well,
supposed to
Right.
be easier than a variance. A variance is
The
not-
criteria is a little bit, again, less stringent
Yeah.
for the section 6 than it's for the variance.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I don't know, I like that, I think that'll make people that
Section
have
6,
these
you
things
don't
easier.
And I-
have to show a hardship.
Literally think
Section 6, you know.
No, that's what I
No,
said.
right.
if our zoning and our building department is up to date and accurate with everything, and assessors, they're gonna catch anything before a 10-year period goes.
One would
So,
hope.
Not really.
No, they don't.
I said, hopefully, I didn't ask,
How long have you lived in this town?
hopefully they
Yeah.
should.
Ralph's
The
glasses half
assessors
full.
have been doing a great job, as far as adding
I
decks
can
on and
name
stuff
4
like
off the
that.
top of my head.
Yeah, all right, let's
Thank you.
stay on track.
I'd just like to point out that these changes were buried
Yeah.
deeply in an appropriations bill, believe it or not.
Really?
They were.
And
Oh, yeah.
the first one was section 37 through 54 of chapter 219, which had
219.
about
Which are
150
the acts.
sections.
Wow.
Okay, so
Our
this
government
was,
would actually do that?
yeah, this was really buried. They didn't want people to know about this at all.
Wow.
And right
Got
before
signed
you
and-
asked me about it, I had just read it in Lawyers Weekly.
Oh, okay.
So it had just come out in Lawyers Weekly.
And this went into effect in August.
Yes.
And
So
actually, I had mentioned it to you.
Half the time you don't even know about, and I've got publications all over the place that come, Lawyers Weekly comes weekly.
Mm-hmm.
Robin's on her way to becoming a lawyer.
No, I gave
Good
that
for
up.
you.
No, I made more money as a paralegal than I did as a lawyer, so.
I've just got a couple thoughts. One, your director's report. Thank you. It went through everything. It was very good.
Very
This was
well
from
written, too.
last week.
Nice
Oh,
job.
thank you.
Like I said, it actually helps us to keep track of everything that's going on, because as you know, a lot of times you're doing stuff behind the scenes really that just needs to be taken care of, and we never hear about it, so
Well, this
I
week I
appreciate
did not
that.
do a director's report because it was the perfect storm. The
Yes,
building
it is.
inspector was on vacation, the plumbing inspector was out of the office.
Yes, I heard a
Maureen,
lot
the
about that.
secretary, oh yes, the secretary was out of the office. Donna was on vacation, and so it was me for everything. And unfortunately, there was a glitch in the IT request to transfer the phone calls. And so by the time I realized that that had not been asked of them when it was supposed to originally, and of course by then I didn't have the codes to get into the building, you know, those 4. So there was tons of that I didn't receive until, and then on Wednesday I finally started, because I called Craig and said, you know, you need to transfer these, I can't get these, and people were not
Less than
happy
happy,
campers.
yes. I had some people call me.
But there was a note on the door that said to come upstairs, so anybody
Mhm.
that, you know, didn't bother to read the note and didn't come upstairs, well then shame on them. But I did everything possible that I could absolutely do to take all the
I think
plumbing.
Burden,
and- Yeah,
brunt.
plumbing,
Yes.
all that, and the electrical, and set up the appointments, and I think we really kinda, we muddled through, so.
Push through.
I think it was
Yeah,
great
but
that
it
you
was- it
stepped
was
up
a-
to help out.
It was a perfect storm, so I did not get a chance to tell you what I was doing, because I was too busy doing it.
Because that's what you were doing.
Okay, with that, I know George had brought forwards, and we had agreed that we would send zoning bylaw changes
To Tom Florence.
to Tom Florence and to Denise.
I already sent them to Denise, but I resent them to Tom this week.
Great. I had a chance to talk with Tom Florence at the council meeting, because I assumed at the last meeting we would be discussing it to see what the appropriate procedure would be. And he was not sure what was going on, so I said to him it wasn't that important, that we'd resubmit it, get it over to him, get it onto the next council meeting, so that way there we could actually get some traction on this and get going with it.
Okay.
And Denise also will be CC'd on all of it. Like I said, I think this is more for procedural purposes, to see exactly what they want of us, when they want it, how they want it, so that going on, when someone else comes in and we're looking for a zoning change, that we know the procedure.
Yeah, the procedure is set out, I mean, in state law and in the charter. It's
Well, that's-
straightforward.
But I think
That's what I
we
thought,
need
but-
to let the council members know what the procedure is, and all of us
I agree.
bring
but
it to a head and go through and do a trial of it.
Chapter 40, well, that's what we're trying to do, but
Right.
Chapter 40 specifies, we give it to them, they've got 14 days to get it back to us.
Right.
That hasn't happened.
That's because they haven't received it.
No, they received, oh, not the council.
Well, the way they want, the council wants things submitted is through the clerk of the
Well, the
council.
clerk has them.
So it's been
And so-
submitted to the council, as far as I'm concerned, once it
We are-
gets to the clerk.
We are making sure that it'll be on the next meeting.
Okay.
And I think that's the best thing that we can do, and make sure that it's on there, go forwards and move
I
from
think we
there
need
with
to
it.
be patient with the new council.
Absolutely.
They're learning too. Everything is so different that everyone's new at the helm.
Appreciate it.
Except Paul.
Well, Paula was a selectman though, so wasn't.
And it's completely
And it's
different.
totally different.
Right.
Robin, last meeting you submitted the pedestrian light at the rail trail crossing.
Yes.
I actually had a chance to review the whole thing. I thought at the beginning we had talked about doing some type of light like that, where it just automatically did, and,
This is something additional that Bob saw,
okay,
that he asked me to forward it to Ellie Belcher. They did some looking into it, and they decided that they had agreed to do what they had agreed to do, and they weren't willing to go forward with anything in addition to, because they've already ordered the lights, everything is, so it'll be the same as they are on Maple Street.
right.
There was an additional, and I'm trying to remember what it was,
It's an additional
It-
$2,000 for
it,
an active sensor.
but it turns on before you're at the end,
Yeah.
you know, so, but it was an additional $2,000, I think, so.
Do we know if that's something that can be added later to it?
Yes, it can
Okay.
be.
Okay,
So they're gonna do everything that they've agreed to do.
Yeah,
Right.
they just didn't wanna do the extra at the last minute.
Okay. And so if the town decides that they want to spend the money, the town can spend the money to
Yep.
do it. Okay.
and the last thing I had was, you had talked with Mr. Anderson, Councilman Anderson, with regards to breweries, and I got a chance to read through all of that, and wow. I mean, I was surprised when it came all the way down to the smallest portion, the nano brewery
Yeah.
would still be 186,000 gallons of cider, wine, or whatever that you can create with a nano brewery to be consumed on the premises. That seemed like an awful lot to me.
186,000 gallons?
Gallons.
Yeah, it's so many barrels, and each barrel is 31 gallons, and yeah,
186,000
6,000
gallons.
for a nano brewery, 6,000 barrels. Each barrel contains 31 gallons. So is my math wrong, or 18,000? Sorry, 18,600.
Still a lot.
right?
Still a lot.
Still a lot.
18,600.
That's to drink on the premises.
On the
Divided by
premises for
Six
consumption,
thousand.
not bottling,
So let's say
taking
there's
off, like they
16
have
ounce
those-
glasses.
And our
65
bylaws
is
now
equal to-
allow
It might not be 24,
a
but let's go
brewery
to 16.
in the industrial garden
32?
district, light manufacturing.
But not for service on premises, correct?
That's-
Yeah.
That's
That's
the key.
50,000. No, that can't be right.
All right,
No.
regardless, it's a lot.
31 gallons
That's
times,
500 gallons a day.
I mean, that just seemed-
500 gallons a day.
Yeah.
And you get some days where
And
you're gonna be
that's
a
the
little
smallest
light, like maybe.
brewery.
Mike-
That's a
That's
nano,
all.
not a
That's a nano.
micro.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that seems like an awful lot.
Now, if there's a college
I think
in town-
Budweiser could open up here and be okay.
Like I said, I mean, I'm going through, because
Yeah.
a microbrewery to me is a small function to where
Yeah.
you're,
Well, if you've been in some of those, like, for instance, in our budding state, there are some,
yep,
and they're just like, look like silos
Yes,
coming out of the ground
yeah.
and
And I
the
mean,
internal of the building.
I think what Mr. Anderson was referring to was to combine it with a restaurant,
Mhm.
which we allow in town, and that they're allowed to make their own to sell on the premises. That's what it sounded like to me.
But they're allowed
I'm
to do
just-
the light manufacturing in the restaurant,
Yeah.
is what and that's where it would take a zoning change. Because only light manufacturing is allowed in the industrial garden district and in the industrial district. So you could open a brewery down there now, you just can't, like
Can't
Deb
serve
just
it.
said, you just can't
Serve it.
serve it.
Yeah.
They want to be able to do this and serve it. Now Ludlow has not gone to town meeting yet.
Right.
So most of that information came from the research that they did in
Absolutely.
Ludlow, because they're having trouble, they want the same thing. They do allow breweries in the mill area, but that's industrial, so they consider it the same as East Long Meadow.
Northampton
And
allows it.
I guess that would be one of my thoughts and concerns going forwards, just for the
And
board
it's
to
gotta
think
be every
about.
Yeah,
restaurant.
right now it's just,
I mean, right now, it's extremely popular going around. There's
Yes.
a lot of different towns have microbreweries and all. And if we're going to consider allowing it, what zones would we allow it in? Would it be just a manufacturing zone like industrial
Well,
garden
it's already
park?
allowed there, but
Well, that would be the
not
brewery.
with service though.
But not necessarily the
well, if
restaurant.
you mess with the industrial garden district, then
Exactly. That's,
you're allowing it in every single one. And you remember, 3 years ago, you changed it to allow that certain area for retail space. Because the concern of, you know,
The
ruining
10%,
the
yeah.
industrial garden district, it's the only large manufacturing district we have in town.
So right now, if they wanted to do this, it would probably be allowed in the industrial zone.
Yes.
Because light manufacturing and retail is allowed.
Right. And the industrial zone is all the commercial properties on Shaker Road.
But
lot
retail,
of-
not
of
service. It'd be
Right,
different.
not service.
No,
Not service.
industrial.
Yeah, but not service. That would be a restaurant. That
Because
would be
retail
a,
and service are two different
you
things.
could sell it.
Yeah. But for instance,
You
where
can't serve it.
Frigo's is industrial. And Frigo's has a restaurant,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And so,
I don't know, it's choppy down
They-
there.
they
so
could
I
put
don't-
in a
I
brew
don't
pub
think it
there.
is, although I think it's business.
okay, because it's industrial.
Business.
And you can also have restaurants in industrial.
Actually, I think
Can you
that
have
side of
food
the road,
service
George.
in industrial?
I thought that side of the road was business.
Restaurant
No,
is
that's-
in
it's
business
up against the
and,
railroad track. That's industrial.
for a
No,
restaurant.
no.
Frigo's.
So.
Oh, Frigos.
You're thinking of,
I'm thinking
across
La
the street.
Fiorentina's,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Same, Frigo's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the deli used to be
In,
there.
Yeah.
in that strip, you could have a brew pub right now, if we allowed pub brewing as an industry, which I'm not sure we do.
Well, it's considered light
Light
manufacturing.
manufacturing.
So that would be allowed, that would be allowed. I mean, my concern would be not so much having a brew pub, because I've been to a lot of them, and they're quite good.
Yeah.
But to have them in a zone where they could be up against a residential property, because they smell like breweries. I mean, seriously, you know,
Yeah.
you do get some emissions from them.
Well, and if you're gonna allow it in one restaurant, you're gonna have to allow it in all the other ones, so.
And your
Only if-
manufacturing
only if
hours
they're-
are
Only if they're
different,
in the industrial zone.
Exactly, if we allowed, right now, if they came in, they could do it in industrial.
You need to create a restaurant in an industrial district.
We have restaurants in industrial districts. Frigo's is in an industrial district.
That's not, well, yeah, but
It's a
Frico's doesn't
restaurant.
have any room.
It's
So
got
that's-
tables. It's
Yeah,
got-
no room to do anything
But
else.
again,
No, but
it's-
I'm just, as an example.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this is something that, I mean, on our own free time that we should think about and consider, and I think something like this will be coming forwards.
Mhm.
Well,
So-
that's why I would really like you, as a board, to look into it because of your experience with
Yep.
zoning. Because if we have the council creating the bylaws, it's gonna be totally different, and they can do that, because they're the ones that are gonna be able to make the changes. So Don is looking at the board to advise. My advice to this board, or my recommendation to this board, is to find out what happens in October in Ludlow. See how their town handled it, what their obstacles were, and let them do the groundwork, and
Why
then
don't we
we
do
can
that?
just
Take
jump
their
in on
learning
the, yeah,
experience
just
and
jump in on the
pocket it.
tail.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ludlow's much more unique compared to East Long Meadow.
We're pretty unique in our own
Yeah,
little
Very.
ways.
Ludlow's-
I understand what you're
They're
saying.
looking
Ludlow's
for
a unique
restaurants.
town.
Yeah.
Ludlow's
It's a-
you have,
It's a what?
Ludlow's a very unique town. You've got commercial businesses smack dab in the middle, residences, you've got
Yeah.
a lot of restaurants, bars, pubs. It's a very, very unique community. It's, I don't, to put it in the same category as East Long Meadow, I think is a stretch.
Okay, well, we could look into how Enfield did it. 'Cause
Right,
they
all
have
I'm
much more
saying is-
farmland,
Yeah.
But I-
similar
I would
industrial.
think what you look at is, if it passes,
Yeah, let's,
then what the
What the
bylaw is,
townspeople
what
are
the
doing, too.
descriptions are, and go from
Agreed.
there with it.
Yeah.
I just think it's something that we
One thing
should
at a
keep
time.
on our plate, and, you know, every couple of meetings, bring it up and see where we are with it, and that's all I have.
Minutes.
Well, I just got them today. I didn't have a chance to look at them.
September 20th minutes, those have been submitted. I actually did all my corrections. I submitted them to Donna, and I forgot to give her my corrections, so I gave them today, and that's what she sent back to
Oh,
everyone.
okay.
All right, so 20th, none of you
Okay,
read
so I'll
them?
make a motion to approve
Oh,
as amended.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
that was the 20th?
September
I thought nobody
20th, I
read
sent
them.
her today. No,
I know.
I did mine,
I
did
know
the
you did.
corrections. She was on vacation when she got back. She went through, corrected them,
But
and
she
sent
just-
them all back.
September 6th?
20th.
I got 6 now. I already signed 20.
Mm-hmm.
Was I here on the 6th? I was.
Ralph Page was
Yeah.
not
I
present.
Mm-hmm. No.
Oh, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, that was a quick meeting.
That was very quick.
I'll make a motion to approve the September 6th minutes.
I'll second.
I'm out, but
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed?
I will abstain because I was not at the meeting.
Okay. Oh, wait, we got 220s. How come, why do we have 220s?
That's because she gave me the other ones. These are the latest.
Is there a motion
ones.
to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.